Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton here in Miami, where the Raptors will take on the Heat and try to break off a long, long losing streak against the Heat tonight here in Miami. And Sherm, Raptors got the good start. They've had a couple of games recently with good starts and bad finishes, as opposed to bad starts and good finishes. Dwayne Casey'd love to see both of those put together.
Dwayne Casey's losing his mind with the way his team is fluctuating right now, and you don't want either of those scenarios to come in play, especially this late in the season. But having said that, they've come out with some wins, so you've got to look at the positive side. But there's got to be balance. There's got to be more consistency. I thought the bench did a great job against Orlando. That's a good sign for them. But they're going to need consistency, especially from their starters. And this is going to be a challenge tonight, the back-to-back. This team is a championship team, championship pedigree with the best player in the world. Yes. It's going to present a lot of challenges.
You know, Sherm, the Heat, and I don't believe it's just lip service. They know Toronto's right behind them in the standings. I mean, some people are looking down the road. We always talk about potential playoff matchups. They spoke very glowingly about the Raptors and what they were doing and what they've accomplished. That being said, they're out here to beat them up tonight because this game has some important parts to it. Think about Indiana, tied now with Miami in the loss column, and the Heat have avoided the boredom of the regular season. They're at the point now in the regular season, and for all intents and purposes, it's playoff time for both the Heat and the Raptors.
Well, you're right. Chicago and Brooklyn aren't giving the Raptors a break either, so the Raptors are playing for something as well. And I think that creates a good atmosphere. And sometimes we find the Raptors, they play up or down to their competition. Well, they're going to have to play up as high as they can against the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat, they're fighting that doldrum, that repetitious feat of trying to get to a championship. There's fatigue involved. You know, there's a lot of elements that go into trying to climb to the top of the mountain again, but this Heat team is mentally strong and they know what to expect and they're going through it. And as you said, they've got something to play for now, so it's game on tonight.
Sherm, the benches for both teams will be key. We heard Miami this morning when we spoke with Eric Spoelstra. No Ray Allen. He didn't even make it to practice. He was in bed. Dwayne Wade probably won't go. Greg Oden probably won't go. And it doesn't sound like Mario Chalmers is going to know until game time. Their role players have stepped up. Yes. We saw Toronto's bench step up in Orlando and do the job for them. So the benches could be really key on both sides tonight.
Well, you're right. Second night of a back-to-back for the Raptors. You're going to need your bench to play at a high level. And, you know, the question is, Patrick Patterson, will he be involved or not? Having said that, I really thought against Orlando in the second quarter, that group that came off the bench with DeMar DeRozan did a great job of getting the Raptors into a good, comfortable position. And a guy like Landry Fields gets dusted off, hasn't played in a while, and he has a very successful outing. So the bench is going to be a necessary factor for the Raptors moving forward. So they've got to continue to depend on that bench, and that bench has to be responsible with the opportunities that they get.
All right, folks, you can see how it shakes down tonight, 7:30 on TSN. You can also hear it on the radio side at TSN 1050. And we start you off with game day at 7 o'clock on NBA TV Canada.